Hi everyone, it's Jody Robinson. I am working today on a quick little table runner, and so I thought, why not record it because it's super fast. So let me show you what I'm doing here. I want this table runner to kind of put on my table for Thanksgiving, so I don't really necessarily need it to be like totally quilted. And I came across all of this cork fabric that I have. So what I did, because if you've not worked with it, this is, so it's kind of has a knit thing on the back of it, and the top is actual cork, but it is kind of thick. I don't know if you can see that, but I mean, it's pretty thick. And so I decided I don't need any batting at all, because I'm going to do, so what I have here is on the bottom, I've mounted actually this cork, this color, and it's mounted upside down for my backing. And then I've just basted, let me show you here, I have, this is just a solid natural color for, that'll be the table runner. And then I thought, why not make some little coasters that will go with it? And so you can see here, I've basted on some purple, some white, and some orange. Now, one thing about this, and why I'm really using it, is that it doesn't fray on the edges. So you don't need to finish it. It doesn't need bound. So I thought it'd be really nice. I did one color for this backing, so that I'll be able to reverse it. So that's kind of nice. And what I did was I chalked out a big rectangle, and then I did put a square because I plan to put like my little decoration in the center, and then I'll know it's in the center. And it'll just be a little more stitching to hold it together. So the plan is I'm going to actually stitch, I'm going to use a ruler, and I'm going to stitch on all of these lines. And then when I'm done, I'll go ahead and just trim it 1/4 of an inch from my stitching line when I'm done, to kind of finish, and that'll keep it, it'll be, you know, nice and crisp on the edges. And I'll do the same for the coasters. I'll just stitch the squares, and then they'll also be reversible. They'll all have the same backing. I am just using Omni thread in a tan because it'll kind of blend with everything, and it's, you know, really nice and strong, so I shouldn't have any problem stitching. I did go ahead and baste all these on, and that's why I guess I need my ruler foot on. I had the spoon foot on because this light one especially, I want to say, it's not sticky, but it's like, it's not smooth. So your foot isn't going to glide over this as smoothly. So I figured I'd use the spoon foot just to keep it, you know, it has the least contact with it, so it didn't push the fabric as I stitched. So let me just, I should have done this ahead. Let me just change out my foot here. I'm going to put the ruler foot on so that I can stay on those lines. Tighten that up. Be ready to go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, and the other thing about this, and let me just show you real quick on this little scrap. So some of the actual color ones feel a little more firm, but this light natural one, I don't know if you can see it, but it does have some stretch to it. It's almost like leather. And so I did baste it on because it's a little, you know, stretchy, and that I didn't want to get all out of shape. So actually when I stitch this, because I don't want this foot to be pushing it, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stitch across the top and down the side, and then come back and do it again, as opposed to stitching the giant rectangle with the possibility of when I come back up here, you know, maybe it's stretched and then I'll have kind of a little bump there, which I really don't want to have. So I'm just going to go ahead and tie off here. And I am going to grab my ruler. And of course I have my ruler base on. And I'm just going to stitch down and then across to the other side. really like this cork fabric. I've made quite a few things, some little like card wallets and stuff, and it's kind of like felt. You don't have to do anything with the edges, which is nice. Just keep going here. Oh, got a little off there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, I'm going to tie off here, and then I'll come back on the other side of this rectangle. Let's come back up to the top here. And I am going to start and kind of go over these first stitches, a couple, just to make sure it's locked in. And I'm just using the ruler to follow that line is all. I am using 10 stitches per inch just because it's thick. I'm going through 2 layers of it, and so I don't want to stitch. And should I have to rip out for some reason, it would be pretty hard, I think, on this particular fabric. And actually, while I'm right here, I'm going to go ahead and drop in to the center and stitch this center square. And you could, I mean, if you wanted to have more design on this, you could certainly just do some quilting designs, but I like it nice and plain. And then once we get up to the top here, we can just keep going with our rectangle. And then like I did on the other corner, I am just going to backtrack over that previous line. And the stitches really sink down into this very nicely. So that's it as far as the table runner part of it goes. I mean, I'll just, like I said, when I'm done, I'm going to go ahead and just trim 1/4 of an inch from this, and that'll be it. You could easily put batting in there. I just don't really feel like it needs it. So let me move all this stuff out of here, and I'm just going to do the same thing over here on these coasters. I initially thought I might come in here and do like maybe a fall leaf or something, but then I realized that I wanted to use them reversed, and you know, like maybe it's Christmas and I'm going to put this on my table, then I probably don't want fall leaves. So I decided no, I just keep it nice and plain. I'm just doing the same thing. And then we'll just repeat this. Again, I'll backtrack over these previous stitches a couple times. And so now I'm just going to repeat that for the other 5 coasters that I've marked out. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so now that I am done stitching those, I'm actually done. I mean, that's why I really love this cork fabric, because it really, you can make so many cool things with it because you don't need to finish the edges. So let me get this ruler out of the way. So you can see I, have all of these little coasters, and I used a 4-inch square to mark those. Oh, I should also add, I did mark these with just a chalk pencil because I didn't know how, like, maybe a wash away marker or an air erasable marker might react on it, and I didn't have time to test that. So I thought chalk is safe. I do know, because I marked a piece and brushed it off, that it'll come off. So I'm going to go ahead and unload these and trim around them, and then I'll add a picture of what it looks like all done. Bye.